Welcome to AH Tutorials, where we show you how to work on cars. Today we're going to be doing a spare tire change, so let's get to it. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to open the trunk, because in the trunk our spare tire is going to be there. Now for this model car, our lever to open the trunk is right here on the bottom, but sometimes yours might be on the door panel or somewhere else, depending on your model car. But we're just gonna pop that up and that's gonna open the trunk. So now we have the trunk open, and inside the trunk there's this flat cardboard piece. We're gonna go ahead and lift this up, and underneath here is gonna be your spare tire. And for us, our tools kit is gonna be here too. Depending on your model car, your tools kit might be on the side or somewhere else in the compartment, but ours is right here, right underneath the cardboard. So now we're gonna take out the spare tire. And the way you do that is you're going to spin this thing to the left and undo this, because this is holding the spare tire. And once we get this off, we can access the spare tire and pull it out. Next, we're going to be needing to access our jack, and for this model car it's on the side. Depending on your model car, it might be in a different spot, but in this case ours is just here on the side. And we're just going to undo that, pull this off, and our jack's going to come right out. So for this, we're just going to be needing these basic tools. It's going to be a jack we just pulled out, and then you're going to need sort of a leverage tool, and then last you're going to need this. For ours it's a size 19, yours might be a different size, but this is just a basic 19 wrench, size 19. Next, we're going to be going underneath the car, and underneath the car there's going to be a specific point that we're going to need to put the jack under. Now that we're underneath the car, we're going to be placing the jack in the spot. And as you can see right here, there's a little metal piece. That's where we're going to want to put our jack. Also, we're going to want to position our jack in a special spot, because we have a little groove in our jack right here. And we're going to make sure that groove sits perfectly in the middle of this metal piece. Now we're going to go ahead and lift the jack up, now that we secured it in its spot. And we're going to turn this to the right, causing the jack to lift up. The closer you get, the more sure you can make that the jack is in the right spot. Now it's going to get harder as you go up, so we're going to be using one of the tools. We're going to use our leverage tool, and we're going to use this, and we're just going to spin that to the right. So now we got that. That's pretty high up enough. The way you're going to know that's high up enough is if the wheel is actually not touching the ground. That's what we want. We don't want the wheel to be touching the ground, so that whenever we take it off, it's going to be way easier. So now, before doing anything, you're going to want to make sure that your emergency brake is up. Now we have that all lifted up. We're going to use our wrench, whatever size it may be. Ours is going to be a 19, and we're going to secure this on tightly. Now you can use your leverage tool and put this in this slot and use it, but in this case I like to just use my foot. And make sure you're turning it the right way, otherwise you might snap it. So we're going to be turning it to the left to take off the bolts. To me, I find that way easier than using that leverage tool. So that's going to be way easier. Next, you also want to make sure that you're going to go in a star pattern. So you want to go across each bolt in a star pattern. Just repeat the process for the remaining 4 and get them all off. Next, we're going to be grabbing our spare tire, and we're going to go ahead and slap this on. Make sure all the threading lines up. And you're going to want to finger tighten these lug nuts onto the threading before you tighten it with anything else. Go ahead and take your tool and just start tightening all the bolts. I recommend doing it with your hand when you tighten it instead of your foot, because with your foot you can strip the bolts. You might snap something. And again, when tightening them, you want to make sure you go in a star pattern. You can see I'm going across from each one in a star pattern. Now when you finish all 5, go back in the same order and just give a good tug on each lug nut, just to make sure you have them on there tight. The last thing you want to do, we're going to be releasing our jack, and again taking your leverage tool and turn this to the left, and that's how we're going to be undoing it. So that's how you do a spare tire change. Make sure you do get this fixed right away. This is temporary. You don't want to be driving on this for too long. If you can, avoid any high-speed freeways or anything like that. Take back roads if you need to, and make sure you get it fixed as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.